Since Pokemon Let's Go was said to be based off of Pokemon Yellow, most fans thought that this meant that the only two possible starter choices would have been Pikachu and Eevee. But when we got to see the player character choosing their starter Pokemon, there was in fact 3 different starter choices. Now, chances are you and your rival will never get to choose this mysterious third Pokemon. But does that mean we'll never see it in the games? I think we will. But what Pokemon could it be? Well, with some simple deductions and knowledge of Pokemon history, I think I figured out what the third starter Pokemon is in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. And if I'm right, then you've already seen a certain trainer use the very same starter Pokemon in battle. What's going on, guys? HybridHero here. Until recently, I didn't put much thought into what the third starter Pokemon may be. It was only until I decided to make a video on what Professor Oak's team may be in these games that I thought of the secret starter Pokemon. Because as you all know, Professor Oak did have unused game data in the original Pokemon games, where he fought you with a team that had the final evolved form of the starter that you and Gary didn't pick. Now, I'll talk more about Professor Oak's team in that video, but it did get me thinking. If Professor Oak did fight us in these games, then he must use that new starter Pokemon. But what on earth could it be? Well, my friends, I think I figured out a method to get the answer. While thinking about this, a certain Pokemon just randomly popped up in my head, which made a lot of sense. And from that idea, I worked backwards on how to come to a more logical approach to this answer. We all know that traditionally, the starter Pokemon come in a grass, fire, water trio, and that they seem to have dropped this pattern for the Let's Go games. Now they have an electric starter and a normal type starter, and an unknown third typing. No typing can make a strength and weakness type trio with the electric and normal types. Ground is super effective against electric, but neutral to normal, and fighting is super effective against normal, but neutral to electric. Because of that, whatever the type of this Pokemon is, won't have to fit the traditional rules of being strong against a starter and weak to another. It also safely gets rid of the starter being a fighting type Pokemon or a ground type Pokemon, as a Pokemon of that type would throw the neutrality of the trio out of balance. On top of this, we can safely remove all electric and normal type Pokemon from the Kanto region as well, as our current starters already have those typings. And since we're moving away from the original starter types, we can remove the types of grass, fire, and water from being on this list, cause chances are that Game Freak won't have one type from the trio make it on here, and not the other two. Another way to narrow down the remaining candidates will be to only look at Pokemon that evolved once, as Pikachu and Eevee share that pattern. And even though they won't be evolving, we can still use that similarity to help us. And with that, only a few Pokemon remain as possible candidates as the third potential starter Pokemon. But one way to get rid of most of the competition in one go would be to focus on Pokemon that evolve with stones, because both Pikachu and Eevee are well known for sharing that trait as well. And after removing all the typings and coming down to Pokemon that can only evolve once with evolutionary stones, only 2 fairy type Pokemon that can use the Moonstone remain: Clefairy and Jigglypuff. And among these two, I think the third secret, mysteriously hidden, unknown starter Pokemon has to be Jigglypuff! Okay, no, I'm kidding. It's gotta be Clefairy. The way I initially thought of Clefairy is simply by recalling Clefairy's history to the Pokemon franchise, and how it was initially going to be the main mascot of the series, as well as Ash's partner Pokemon. This gives Clefairy a playing field on the level of Pikachu and Eevee, but it's one that's just a little more hidden and known about among the old and hardcore Pokemon fans. Of course, Pikachu did end up becoming the mascot of the series and Ash's partner Pokemon to fit a more gender-neutral approach to the series, making Pikachu the first Let's Go starter. And as you can see, Pokemon is really trying to push for a second mascot, with that mascot being Eevee, because of its cuteness and popularity, which is why it became the second Let's Go starter. So as an Easter egg to the fans and to the history of the Pokemon franchise, I think Clefairy will be the third starter, as it was the original mascot of this series, and they may even try and market it as the third mascot. It would even be really fitting if Oak did end up using it in a battle against us in the aftergame, cause Oak in a way could represent old fans, the long history of Pokemon, or even the beginning of the Pokemon franchise. And him using a Clefairy or Clefable in his match against you could be symbolic as to the origins of the Pokemon franchise and what could have been. We are going back to the roots of Pokemon with a new twist after all. Would be nice, right? Well, scratch all of that, cause I'm taking all of you for a spin. I got a better idea that I literally thought of while writing another script, and one that I'm sure will solidify my theory of Clefairy being the third starter Pokemon. In Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, Lillie decides to stay in Alola, and she becomes a Pokemon trainer there. There, she takes on Rainbow Rocket with you with one single Pokemon. That Pokemon being Clefairy. Now, like I said, she stays in Alola and doesn't visit Kanto in these games, but in Sun and Moon, she decides to go visit Kanto to find a cure for her mother, Lusamine. And in that timeline, she also has an interest in being a trainer, and she more than likely will receive a Pokemon there from Professor Oak. So I wouldn't be surprised if the reason as to why Clefairy is never an option for us players is because regardless of the version, Lillie comes to Kanto and picks Clefairy as her starter Pokemon. This could even explain why she has one Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon at level 60 and unevolved. Cause just like you and Trace, she keeps her Let's Go starter from evolving. Again, this wouldn't be the same Lillie from those games, and would be the Lillie from Sun and Moon. Her Clefairy from Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon could have been an Easter egg or a tease to show us what's coming up in the future. It wouldn't be the first time that Game Freak has done something of the sort. And you already know that Game Freak is gonna want to market Lillie as much as possible, cause she's that much of a fan favorite. Get ready, cause I think we have a secret rival with the Clefairy in store for us. Sorry for the abrupt inclusion of this segment of the video. Like I said, I just randomly had a brain blast and blew my head with this idea. And I had to get it in here cause I think it's the strongest point to this theory. Oh, and sorry, Oak. This video was kinda about you, but Lillie took the spotlight. I hope you don't mind. But Lillie aside, just seeing these three Pokemon together really symbolizes the entirety of the Pokemon franchise to me. The origin of Pokemon, the evolution of Pokemon, and the legacy of Pokemon. Three Pokemon that symbolize this perfectly. So I guess our answer wasn't on Earth after all. So to recap, by process of elimination, we can get rid of 7 possible types that the starter Pokemon could have been, which also eliminates most of the Pokemon that evolved by evolutionary stones. Then, by focusing on Pokemon that evolved once by evolutionary stones, we boiled down the list to 2 fairy type Pokemon, Clefairy and Jigglypuff. And because of its initial history with the series, I think the new starter would more than likely be Clefairy. And in addition to that, Lillie's interest in Kanto and her owning a Clefairy could be a sign of it all coming together, and she may end up visiting the Kanto region to help her sick mother and pick up the Clefairy as her starter Pokemon on the way, and even become our second rival. But who knows? Only time will tell. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for my upcoming video on what I think Professor Oak's team may be in these new Pokemon games, as that was the reason why this video even exists in the first place. And also stay tuned to find out what I think Lillie's team will be in these new games as well. Be sure to hero punch the like button if you enjoyed the video, and hit the dislike button if you didn't. Let me know how you feel. Comment down below your thoughts and opinions. What do you think the third starter Pokemon is, and how do you feel about Clefairy possibly being the third starter Pokemon? Let me know. Share the video around with a friend, and finally, subscribe and hit the little bell icon if you want to stay up to date with all my content. Take care of yourselves, have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next video, alright? Later.